a good idea to stay home.
I have all the deeds going back to him.
It's like a real.
Lynn Callister
Pretty simple
bought one of
agenda.
them, I think, for the museum, so she probably, and I have all the information.
A simple short
All the
agenda, right,
shit
Chief?
happened and everything.
I don't see you on here, but you're here.
For 2 reasons. I'll make it short and sweet.
Should we open a window?
Well,
So we can
go
breathe?
ahead.
Thank you.
We should
Oh, thank
put an air conditioner and turn it on real loud so there's no sound.
Right. They can't hear us. Baloney.
Well, maybe I can, maybe I can't.
All the way to the right, I think.
Well, that's where I have it.
No.
Yeah.
Into town.
1 or 2.
It's fine.
That's me. That was me, Doug.
Oh, good. I thought I had on vibrate.
Well, 7 o'clock, call this meeting to order. Please all join me in the salute to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under
under
God,
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just a reminder that the call-in number for this meeting is 930-8189. 930-8189. Roll call. Dick Damaris is absent. Hopefully he's home from hospital. I spoke with him this noon. And, things are going well with him. Thankfully. Acceptance of the August 2nd Selectmen's meetings. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion that the minutes be accepted as printed.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to accept the meetings of August 2nd as printed. Any discussion?
I was on vacation that week, so I'll abstain.
Okay. Being no other discussion, I'll call for vote. All those in favor? 3 with 1 extension. Acceptance of agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Was there any 11th hour changes?
There's one thing we probably ought to bring up at 11th hour. That is, I have a memo here from Waldo County Commissioners asking us to vote for someone to serve on the Waldo County Budget Committee. We already have one from Searsport, there's one from Prospect. There is one from Stockton Springs running for 3-year term rather. And we'll discuss that when the time comes.
And then the chief is here too.
Yep.
I don't see him on the agenda. Where did you want to put him?
No, Chief's gonna speak to us on department head reports.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe accept the agenda as amended with 11th hour.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to accept the agenda as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Actually, I'm sorry, real quick. I'm just looking at the memo here. Looks like there's another issue for 11th hour.
Oh.
I thought that was, that's an agenda item, isn't it?
That's 11th hour item.
It's under, what, number 7 too.
Yeah, 7A, that's fine. The 11th hour,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
yeah, James put in something about painting the sides of Union Hall. So if we could revisit that and just have that added as an 11th hour item.
Make a motion.
Yeah, okay,
We
yep.
revisit Aaron's
Union Hall painting.
motion and amend it to include the Union Hall painting.
Second.
Okay, motion was made and seconded to amend the original motion. All those in favor?
Thanks, sorry.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. Open to public, there is no public here, so we're going to item 7, new business. A, participation in Site Selection Magazine, discussion and action. With James not here tonight, he's home.
So basically, it's over 11 grand to do this.
Basically,
That's what it comes down to.
It's too much money.
He's not recommending.
way too much.
I make a motion, we do not approve the participation in Site Selection Magazine.
Could you tell us a little bit about it?
I'll do the best I can, what little bit I know.
Yeah, just add a
where,
memo here. It's Economic Development Site Selection Magazine, September issue. So this is just one issue.
This is one issue. I believe it's $12,000 for full page ad.
Yeah, basically.
I'd rather spend that money on a planner.
That's
That's
right.
crazy.
Somebody
Right.
that's
Really
an economic
understand.
development coordinator
Right.
than running ads in a magazine.
And, you know, we don't even know
Yeah,
what audience it reaches.
right.
50,000 people, but that seems like a no-brainer.
Probably not the 50,000 we need to reach.
I don't know how many people have ever heard of it.
No, I don't either.
Did you make a motion already?
Yes. Someone please.
I'll second that motion that,
Okay, the motion is made to pass this over.
Disapprove.
Disapprove.
did
Okay.
defeat it, that's what I'm seconding.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to disapprove participation in the Site Selection Magazine. Any more discussion on the motion? All those in favor? 4-0. Correspondence.
11th hour.
11th hour.
Oh, please, I'm trying to get away from that. All right. There is one thing on 11th hour. Like I said,
A couple things.
there's a memo here from Waldo County Commissioners. It's official ballot to vote for a member of the Budget Advisory Committee for Waldo County. There's a note here on it that says Searsport and Prospect both have a selectman serving on the Budget Advisory Committee. So apparently Dick's term is not up at this time.
Oh, okay. So what do we need to do?
But I'm not sure. Dick is not here. Hopefully he'll be here in the next meeting.
They're not asking us to re-up him. He's
Right. If he'd like to serve, I would prefer to vote for him.
Do you mind if I take a quick look at
Yep.
that?
He'll, since he serves on the budget committee, he also might recommend somebody. Is the date certain on there?
This one on there?
Date,
By
when it has to be in?
September
Yes,
6th.
September.
But I don't think they're asking us to, I think they're just asking us to vote for Stockton Springs person they put up,
Right.
Mr. Curley. So I think it's a
That's what
no-brainer.
it appears to be.
I don't have a problem with that.
Each means should vote for as a board for one budget committee member from the candidates on the ballot. So yeah, I think we can proceed. Yeah, that's it. We're not signing Dick on to anything.
No.
So I'll make a motion that we cast our vote for the sole candidate, Mr. Curley from Stockton Springs.
Second.
You want to read this microphone? The vote? Okay, motion been made and seconded to cast a vote for Peter Curley. I believe he is a selectman for town of Stockton. To serve on the Waldo County Budget Committee. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of motion? 4-0. I will see to it that this gets sent into the county commissioners.
Mr. Chair, would you mind if I, since I guess I'm the one who put the other 11th hour on, do you mind if I
Yeah.
basically? I'm just going to read James's memo. So, it says, I'm seeking to scrape and paint two sides of Union Hall. Otis Painting is already under contract to scrape and paint the library. This project is being done under historic preservation grant. I'm hoping to piggyback onto this grant to save some money for the town. The plan is to rent a lift for both jobs to make them go faster and save money. I'm asking for up to $9,500 from the building reserve account to complete this project. The account has $14,043.26 in it. I'll make a motion to approve up to $9,500 from the building reserve account for the painting project.
Second.
Does that includes scraping or whatever else needs to be done for prep?
And that's what it says,
It's
authorized.
contract is
Okay,
scraping.
so-
Scrape
Yeah,
and
but that's
paint.
the library, so that's
No,
for,
most like Union
oh,
Hall.
Union Hall, okay, because I noticed a piece of the wooden molding is
Yeah.
missing out there right now.
It says scrape and paint two
Yeah.
sides, so yeah, it looks like.
Right, this is, Domino's.
I spoke to James about that trim today.
Yeah, that trim's
and
off out
it
there.
was hanging, and he took it off, and that's what produced this quicker, and to save money.
So it says two sides now, what two sides? Is that side and that side?
I'm thinking north and west, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would seem, these two sides looks like.
These are the two that need
Are
it.
the
That
worst
corner is
shape,
very
right.
bad,
Okay,
and the front's very bad.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, motion made and seconded to authorize up to $9,500 to paint and scrape two sides of this building. Any discussions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? 4-0.
Jack.
I got a text message from the town manager. He said we can only afford two sides this year, and they are the worst.
Okay.
He's doing what I do.
Ask him to ask him if we taking notes. I'm sure he's taking notes. Yeah. He's not here, but he better be doing it then. We're doing correspondence. Okay.
Yeah, that should be it for correspondence. Treasurer's warrants, take a motion on those.
Make a motion, we approve the treasurer's warrants.
Second.
Motion made, seconded to approve the treasurer's warrants, on, signature. All those in favor? Department head reports, there's, one written one here, from wastewater. I'm not gonna read it. But it appears as if, everything's going very well down there.
So I guess we'll get the other ones later, or maybe they're just not in the
Right.
folder. So I'll move we approve the. And you're going to give an oral report, I guess?
Yeah.
Well, mine is there. My monthly report is
Oh,
there.
you're right, you're right.
I'm not seeing.
There's
it.
just one facet of my monthly report that's missing, which is where I break down the calls because the computers have been down at dispatch, so I wasn't able to get the.
I don't have his report unless I'm missing it.
I gave you 6, Jack.
Oh, Jack. So either take one down and pass it. Take one and pass
Yeah.
it down the aisle. Which one?
You
I was
got
faulty.
you got them right.
Looks like oh, the 2 pages.
I was faulty. There you go.
So before we hear from the chief, I'll move that we approve at least the wastewater and police reports.
So,
Motion been made and seconded to, accept the police report and the wastewater report. All those in favor? 4-0. Chief, do you have anything else you want to do verbally?
Yeah. Just about my report, where I break down the calls, as I said, the computer system at dispatch was down when I did my report, and so I wasn't able to break those calls out. I will have those for you Thursday in your box. It'll be just a separate sheet, a paragraph, probably 2-3 inches, explaining the calls. And if those can be added to my monthly report. Okay. The other thing that I was asked, and I would just like to make the board aware, we had a huge auction on Route 1 E West Main Street this past Friday. And I believe some of the board members have gotten some questions about who covered the cost of that response by the police department. I was the duty officer for the day, and we had 2 cruisers there with the lights going, and I pretty much spent the entire day there. This was pre-arranged with the auction company, and I will tell you, the board, as well as the community, I made a tactical mistake. Aaron came down and stopped on Prospect Street, and I stated to him that I had made a mistake because I was not really keeping in mind the amount of traffic in that area for the time of year, especially on a Friday. So that was clearly my mistake. But we got through the day, we had really no issues. I had met with the auctioneer and the Weezer family 2 weeks prior to. I outlined to them what my expectations were of the auction company. There was to be no parking on West Main Street headed towards Belfast. I would put signage out to make sure that that didn't happen. We allowed parking on West Main Street eastbound from the Gall residence, where the antique shop is, back towards Belfast. That is the biggest area where cars could literally park in the breakdown lane. There's a sidewalk right there. It was all about safety, and the auction company was okay with that. They actually had made, at my suggestion, they had made contact with Phyllis Gall. They had made contact with the property owners of the Gambrell house, which is the next house west of the Galls, for any off-site parking that was needed there. They also were going to speak, and I'm not sure if they did, but they were going to speak to Phyllis Summer and the t-shirt store, because there's some parking available maybe down there, but that was their responsibility, not mine. And I also suggested that they may want to consider contacting the Blacksmith Restaurant for any parking availability down there. We had no parking issues. Everything was handled on site. They had people themselves from the auction company that were there on the Weezer side of the property, guiding people in. It went pretty smoothly, all in all. And again, I will take full responsibility for allowing the auction there. Under the circumstances, I had met numerous times with Mr. Weezer, and pretty much knew and understood from previous conversations what his wishes were. He wanted to make sure that his family held the auction there, if at all possible. There was a lot of stuff, and I tried to work with them and honor his wishes. But again, I will take full responsibility. It was probably an error on my part. So, but other than that,
I appreciate that. I don't think anything could
I
catastrophic happen.
have heard nothing.
So,
I didn't hear anything.
no harm, no foul, as far as I'm
Yep.
concerned. But,
So, and again, I was trying to follow the ordinance that the town passed last March at town meeting, as far as an auction on site, keeping in mind safety and all that stuff. So,
you seem to manage it well. Just
yep.
it's just a bigger beast than we anticipated.
Yep. So, and they had about, over the course of 8 hours, there were probably 50 to 75 vehicles that come and went. Yep. So that come and went from that area. So,
Parking at that residence is limited. So,
So would you say that there was any more cost to the town because of it happening there, or it would have just been, you'd have been on duty and it wouldn't have you know.
I would have been
increased
on
costs?
duty. I happened to make a decision that I would just stay there
Versus patrolling or?
versus patrolling. I sense, quite frankly, if I hadn't been there, I believe traffic would have been backed up both
No,
ways.
You were busy manager,
Yeah,
so you had
so-
to be there. You made the right call.
So, you know, and the Weezer family, as well as the auctioneer, offered to pay, and I just said, I will take care of it. And
I'm not
so-
sure, I'm not sure what they pay for. So.
yeah, so that's where I'm at. So
Okay.
if I erred,
I just had questions. It
Yep.
was not,
Yep.
a couple of people called me and I said, well, I'll check on it.
yep. And I would really, you know, going forward, I would try to do that with any family situation in Searsport like that.
So to clarify that you didn't hire anybody else?
I did not hire anyone extra. No. Nope, I did not.
Okay. So there's no noticeable increased cost of town. That's all.
Yep.
I can answer that
Yep.
question. Or they heard it anyway, probably.
And I have one other thing, just real quick, and I will come back before you, but I would like to inform the board that Officer Dennis Remillard saved a person's life last night here in Searsport as a result of doing CPR. We were the first ones on scene. The person was unresponsive, essentially turning color, and he brought her back. The ambulance crew got there, and the ambulance finished up the task. But thanks to Officer Dennis Remillard, saved the person's life.
Congratulations to both of them.
Good to hear that.
So,
Wow.
and I'll come back before you
Yeah,
with.
please do.
Yeah. So.
Maybe something formal.
Yep, something formal. But I just wanted to give you the heads up.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
great.
a citation would be, if the board's okay to.
Nice.
Yep.
I do want to add one thing to the chief's report. You were quoted in a couple of the papers.
I understand that.
I thought it was very good. Hopefully it'll keep people aware that first responders aren't out there to cause them inconvenience.
Yeah. This is the second, we've had major accidents.
You're busy.
but This is the second major accident where we've actually third, that we've actually had to shut the road down and reroute traffic. And I understand it. I mean, I was off. I got called. I was made aware of the accident, asked if they needed my assistance. I was told, stay home, you're all set, we got it covered. As a result of that, we are constantly reviewing these processes because they need to be reviewed. And one of the things, we have the 2 electronic signs now, which actually say accident ahead, you know, detour ahead, where we were able to do that. Unfortunately, right now, I'm still learning that electronic stuff, and they're not on trailers yet. My goal is to get both of them on trailers. I think I made that aware to the board when I was here before, when you agreed to make the purchase. And so that's still a work in progress. We have I'm sure that you all have seen the detour signs that we use for the parades, the big pink ones with the arrows and all that. I need to get together with Chief Webster. We plan on having a meeting with the adjoining communities, because when this happens, and it could happen in any of the communities, we're all affected, and we need to have a better plan in place. We recognize it. We have the actual routes, the signage in place that were put there by the state. Those were not used the other day. I don't really know why, but you know, it was hot. It was a lot of traffic. There were people that were exiting the state to go back to their respective states because of school year starting early and things like that. So, you know, you never can anticipate those type of accidents, you know, and so I am kind of vocal about some of my comments there.
Very good though.
I hope it didn't offend anyone. I got trashed on the.
Did you read the comment section?
I didn't, but people have come.
I did.
People
I
have come
did.
to
You
me.
didn't get trashed at that.
Yeah.
It was both. It was
So-
50-50.
But
Yeah.
you know, it's the last thing we want to do is shut the road down. But first and foremost is the responder safety, and the people who were. I mean, we had 3 people that were locked in vehicles,
Right.
and we needed to get them out. And
You know, I just hope that, you know, some of these people that are in vehicles, that they get start and think, you know, if this was me in an accident, I wouldn't care if traffic moved or not. I'd want
Yeah.
the first responder to
I
help
hope
me.
people would just be patient. And give
Yeah.
it-
Weren't there 3 in 2 hours? 3 different ones?
there were 4. There were 5 accidents altogether that day. All probably the main accident, and then we had a rear end collision at Turnpike, causing $1,500 damage to one vehicle. We had a T-bone situation on the Harris Road, and then we had a vehicle from Searsport that went off the road on Old County on the corner, and that driver met another vehicle, probably someone who didn't know where they were, and he really had no place to go, so he put his vehicle in a ditch. And so that ended up being a non-reportable accident, but you know, this is what happens when we have to reroute, unfortunately. And
Oh, that doesn't have to happen. That's happening because people aren't being careful.
Yep.
They're being probably angry and frustrated. So I think you're dead on with your comments. I don't think
Yeah.
you need to apologize for any of that.
yeah.
Appreciate you asking. I was going to probably come up in selectmen reports just to see how it went, but
The safety of all the responders trying to save people is much more important than people who are sitting in their car. I don't have a lot of patience for
people need to
that.
drive carefully. I know they're frustrated. I've been there. On
Yep.
way back from
Well, I think we all have been there.
yeah, on the way back from vacation I was missing. I decided to take the scenic route back from Vermont, which I didn't regret, but it's a lot of these back roads, right? And the GPS is struggling to keep up, and suddenly it was just we're take this right hand tour, we're making great time, and suddenly there's a police officer closing the lane right in front of us, and had to drive an extra 15 miles, and it was frustrating, but someone there needed it, so that's what you gotta do.
I was down by the road for a while that traffic was backed up, you know, going towards Searsport, and nobody that I saw was angry. They were just people were concerned, you know. Does anybody know what's happening and what the problem is? And, you know, but nobody was distressed or upset that I saw, and I didn't see them all.
Yeah, it's hard to attribute what the cause of
Yeah,
but
I mean,
people just need
were
to be careful.
talking to each other. And, you know.
I mean, that just that accident scene alone, I think Belfast had an ambulance, Stockton had an ambulance, we had 2 ambulances there. So I mean, the communities are maxed, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I think the fire department was shorthanded. I think they did a great job based on the manpower they had, and we had to reconstruct the scene, and so there was no police officer in Waldo County that was available. Searsport doesn't have a reconstruction officer, so the officer actually had to come out of Knox County because it was we were told kind of touch and go. So you know,
I think
so-
it is fine. You know, as an appropriate comment to the press, we won't
Right.
we won't dust off the muzzle just yet.
Mhm.
Any
You're good.
any reports on the victims that were, you know, airlifted? Are they?
As far as I know, as of late yesterday, everyone they're in the hospital. There are broken bones, a lot of broken bones, at least on both drivers of the vehicle. The passenger, the baby, escaped without any injuries at
I
all,
heard that.
and the passenger in the vehicle that was headed westbound, a lot of seatbelt abrasion and some other abrasions about her body. So, but as far as we know, everything's okay.
Thanks, Chief, what you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Shit.
All right to go.
Go home.
All right. Thanks.
Your family likes you when you meet.
We'll be right behind you.
Okay.
Selectmen report. Aaron, do anything?
No, it's good to be back.
Mark?
I would like to say those fireworks were fantastic at the Heritage Day celebration. Not enough people were there watching them, but they were great fireworks. I have nothing else. And my questions were answered. I've only had a couple calls about the traffic, and those were answered. So I'm fine.
Okay, great. Doug?
I want to thank our town historian. I went on the tour for Heritage Day. That was wonderful. And Charlene Knox Ferris, of course, is always entertaining with stories and knowledge. And no matter how long you lived here, you think you know it all. But I found out I didn't for sure.
Yeah.
And it was a wonderful tour, beautiful day. And I also enjoyed very much the Jeff, I don't remember his last name. The speaker upstairs talking about the port.
Oh, yeah. Captain,
Sorry, it just doesn't come to me.
yeah, I know what you mean. How's that?
Anyway, that was so informative, and there weren't too many people there, but I wish everybody in Searsport had listened to it, because it was very informative, and it gave a different idea than what some of us think about the port and what some of us think is going to happen in the future.
Right.
Was that
And
tape?
frankly, I do want to say this, his point was probably not super large ships. For ports like us, it would probably be small ships.
Right.
So that's been a big concern for years now, and I was actually happy to hear that. And it was just wonderful. I enjoyed every minute of it. And thank you, Jack, for. I guess James brought him in here,
Yeah.
and I'd like to thank him. And I wonder if the board should send him a note. Maybe.
Was that taped?
No,
No.
and that was
That's a shame.
disappointing.
Yeah.
And James said we possibly could have him back next year or something.
Well, he's been hired by, I want to say Maine Port Authority, but I'm not certain.
Yes, it was. It wasn't taped because George had other commitments and there was nobody available to tape it, unfortunately. I'm done. Yeah.
No, no, no. I just want to say the Maritime Heritage Days was somewhat of a success. Some ways more than others. Some of us have been working on it. Got together last Wednesday afternoon, and it was decided that we'd try it again another year. Probably what we'll do is combine it with either a old home weekend or a alumni weekend. Try to get more folks. Yeah. We're going to meet right after the 1st of December. Start from preliminary plans. And to echo on what Doug said about the port summit up here, there was a great deal of good information. I wish more people in town had heard it. The only thing that disappointed me was that even though they've been invited, there was no representatives here from Maine Port Authority. Searsport is the second largest industrial deepwater port in the state. And there's absolutely no one on the Maine Port Authority to represent this port. The members of the authority are appointed by the governor. And I think in order for this port to grow and remain a vital part of our maritime highway system, that we need a voice. So, if there's anyone out there that's interested in serving or want to find out more about it, I'd urge them to speak to James. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Any other board member got anything else before we move on to?
No.
So no executive session, okay.
There is no executive session.
Alright, I move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion made, second to adjourn. Apparently there will be no discussion on that. I'll
No,
call for a vote. 4-0.
Thank you.
thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Ward.
Oh, Dick is home from the hospital.
Good.
I don't know if Dick's home yet or not.
He is.
He is, good.
James just told me.
I talked to him, noontime.
He did. Okay. That's nice.
He thought he was gonna be coming home.
Scary.
Well, luckily it was not a